I really appreciate the diversity of the people in this room. You were all selected, as I talked about before, for your passion and your knowledge and your experience and your unique connections to our community. And so we are really excited to have you here. This is truly pivotal work that, as we said, is going to result in a plan being brought back to our city manager, Andrew Ching, and our chief, Jeff Glover, in January of 2021. And I know they're very excited about taking a look to see what your recommendations and suggestions are.
Mayor Woods convened the Public Safety Advisory Task Force in 2020 after he took office to address many of the issues that were at the time and continue to be in policing, not just in our community, but in the nation.
I think it was just the moment that we're living in, not just locally, but nationally. And so I thought to myself, how can we continue to build upon the current trust that exists between the Tempe Police Department and members of our community? One of the great things was when Chief Glover came in, I believe it was even his second or third day, he really embraced this effort.
The Public Safety Task Force that was initiated by the mayor was innovative because it brought together community members, it brought together activists, it brought together a little bit of everybody to have discussions about what was most important to them and how they should be policed, but then also to do a little self-reflecting on our own to make sure that what we're doing is aligning up with everything that we have in terms of our values and how we believe that policing should be done.
So the task force, I believe, helps us keep a pulse on what are people saying in the neighborhoods, what are people saying from all viewpoints, and that dialogue that helps to create trust and understanding of the different viewpoints regarding what people would like to see with overall community safety in a city.
The Public Safety Task Force was a genius idea. I've been speaking with Mayor Woods about policing ever since he was elected, and he committed to me that he would definitely take proactive steps into how the Tempe Police Department conducted business internally and externally. Tempe Public Safety Task Force has brought together a wide array of community members, maybe people that wouldn't normally have conversation. There were people in the task force that were pro-police, that loved the police, and there were people in the task force that wanted to abolish the police, and all in between. So to bring these voices together, you got to hear the real sentiments of the community.
The group wasn't always going to see eye to eye, and they did not. They were vocal and passionate about their particular positions. But after about 7 or 8 different sessions, they were able to come up with a unified list of recommendations. And I think that's remarkable in today's day and age, that people with diverse opinions can get together and actually agree upon a very solid set of recommendations that we're now working hard to implement.
There's an old saying that it's hard to hate up close. So after you get to be able to actually have that dialogue with your community members and being able to have meaningful discussions, I think that we got out of it is that that we're a really good department, a great department, but we're always striving to get better.
It is a local government's responsibility to look at it from all different angles and all different departments. So we've assembled an oversight committee that takes that information, and we've strategically identified a year 1, a year 2, and year 3 items that we are able to address. We are also looking to create a public safety advisory task force dashboard. We see it as a project and implementation of policies and practices. It helps us stay organized, but also, more importantly, it brings the community in to see what we are doing. And once again, what are you doing with all of this information? It's just not about the policies and practices. You are building trust with the community.
The other piece to this, too, in terms of the recommendations, is that we had found that there was a lot of things that we were already doing as an organization that the community didn't know that we were doing. And so it became an educational opportunity where we were able to then also pass on information to them about the things that we were already implementing.
quite honestly, my hope is that a lot of other cities and towns, not just in the state of Arizona, but nationally, use the model that we actually used here in Tempe with the Public Safety Advisory Task Force to create a better template and a better blueprint for how to move forward when talking about community safety or partnerships with members of the community. I really thought that what we did here was truly innovative and groundbreaking, and I think there are things that can absolutely be replicated as long as the elected officials have the political courage to move forward with them. And you've got, the great leadership that we have here at the Tempe Police Department. But as Chief Glover always tells me, we're a great department, we do exceptional work, but we want to continue to partner with the community to grow and do even better moving forward. So I'm excited to see the possibilities moving forward and the continued partnerships we can have with community members.